All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Lifestyle Loops podcast. We're back for episode 33. After last week, I think we did mention that we were going to have a guest on, but that hasn't turned out to be the case. So you're just being treated to another trio episode once again, which, to be fair, last week's went down very, very well. So, yeah. We'll assume there'll be no complaints about that. Just to preface this one as well, we all do have the UK DFBA Northern Championships on live stream in the background. So if anyone starts freaking out over a rear double, that's why. But yes, guys. No, how are we getting on anyway? How are we, lads? Good.
I'm all good. I suppose I'll go first on the catch-up side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, prep still going well. We are now 15 days out, CBAM. Fuck me.
Yeah, it's fucking mad, man.
Every time I say that, I'm just like, oh, it's terrifying. So, but like, it genuinely is terrifying now, 2 weeks, where I was chatting to Tim this morning and it's like, okay, we've probably got one more week left of fat loss before this first string of shows for me. I was like, whoa, that's come around quick. Like, it feels like yesterday I was saying, it's double digit weeks, and then it was like suddenly 5 weeks, and I'm like,
yeah.
So, but like things have been going pretty well recently. Body weight has kind of been fluctuating between a low of 158 pounds and about 159.5. So it was 159.5 today. But there's a couple of external factors that are kind of causing that scale weight increase. Once again, I think at this stage, the most important thing is visuals. It is not scale weight. Like, I've literally had my first poo in about 4 days there, and it was fucking mega. It was so good. But like, obviously, without going to the toilet, not to get graphic, but the shit itself is not the thing that's causing the weight increase. It's the fluid that I'm holding because of it.
Yeah.
Because realistically, you fuck all shit anyway. You're on sub 2,000 calories a day, mate.
Yeah. There's not much in the system, so it's all the fluid that's just being drawn in.
There's not much bulk.
Yeah, bulk. I've actually started taking a fiber product. So Tim told me.
Have you started taking any psyllium husk or anything?
No, I don't even know what this is. It's just like it's an 8 gram scoop of a fiber product. I'm not sure how much fiber it actually is, but I ordered Digest Max, and it still hasn't arrived. They tried to deliver it on Thursday, missed the delivery, and I'm like, okay, well, surely you just re-deliver for the next day. It's like, nah, you have to rebook it. So I've rebooked it for Monday. So still waiting on my Digest Max coming. But
just send that back when you get it, mate. Sure, the strong owner, you don't want to be giving him any money.
No, well, I ordered from Pit Stop, so
true.
But yeah, visually really happy. I had Jake look over me yesterday. He said I was looking extremely sharp, so that was good to hear. I think the lower body now from the rear has finally come through.
Do you still think you were flat?
Yeah.
What did you send them to Tim?
Yeah.
And he agreed?
He was like, you're not bottom of the barrel flat, but you are flat.
I've seen you worse. I think the front lat comparison was like a posing issue. We looked at your chest and there was
partly posing, which I do think was because I felt flatter, so I couldn't like pop everything as much. Mm-hmm. I also do think it was the camera as well. I've noticed the camera height and the distance was slightly different.
Okay.
But I am like, even just the internal feel of like, I know this isn't popping. I don't feel as connected to it as I usually do. So I am a little like, if I was putting it on a scale, I'm on the flatter side, but I'm not flat. If that like down here. Mm-hmm. But once again, like, who gives a fuck if I'm flat right now? You know, it really doesn't matter, but it's nice to be aware of these things anyway. So yeah, one more week left of fat loss. Probably a couple of days of baseline again, maybe a day output, and then back to baseline. Probably don't need a huge amount of food. If we do have like a moderate day, or if we do have a little bit more food, I imagine it'll be one of those moderate days that we do, whether it's a training day or a rest day, just a little bit more to top up the tank, and make sure training still stays good. But yeah, visually really happy. I created my little Instagram broadcast channel because I was like, I'm doing all these story updates every morning. I wouldn't mind going into a little bit more detail So I thought, you know what, I'll make the butcher block. So if anybody wants to join that far away, I think I've got like 150 people in that already, which is cool. So I'm just posting like little update every day on what the plan is, because things are kind of changing quite a bit. Dropping physique updates, then a little bit of pose and stuff as well. It's a few little bits of knowledge in there. So yeah, if anyone wants to join, far away. But that is my life. Things going well. De-output today, actually. Didn't mention that.
No
So
cardio this morning? No? Happy days.
cardio this morning. No cardio. 8K steps, but 1,800 calories. So hopefully should get a good bit of fatigue dropped off and push on then from tomorrow.
I think that the broadcast channel is something nice to do during like cardio or something. It just makes the time pass. I find, I can't watch something during cardio anymore. I'll have it on in the background, but I need to be doing form clips, like responding to clients, caption an Instagram post, just something to pass the time. Yeah.
You find like if you're watching something, whether it's a podcast or like something on Netflix, you get so invested in it that you just naturally drop your intensity.
On the bike at times, yeah, because obviously you can't drop off on the stairs, but it's like
you will drop off literally.
Yeah, I don't even get like that invested in the podcast or something when I'm doing cardio. It's just like time's going so slowly, because then I start to take notice of every second, like one. But whereas when I'm doing something, you don't realize, because I don't do my form feedback with like voice notes. I type everything out, so there could be paragraphs on paragraphs of shit, and you don't realize how long that actually takes.
Yeah.
So that passes the time so much quicker for me.
You know what I hate? Whenever I start an Apple Fitness like cardio session on the watch, comes up in the top corner like the little notch, like the live timer of your activity, if your phone's in portrait. So like it'll just tell me like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I fucking hate that. Like I know a lot of people cover the timer on the Stairmaster with a towel or something when they're on it to help the time pass. But now I just make sure, for that reason, I am watching something, I just flip the phone horizontal and then it doesn't display it, because it's so fucking annoying, mate. Like I'll take a glance at this a good few times when I'm on the bike just to monitor my heart rate to make sure it's either above, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, like you could talk about this. I'm meant to stay within a range, and a lot of times I just fucking end up above it. I never really take the foot off the gas during my cardio. I've definitely been worse before, but like I'm meant to be within 140, and a lot of times I'm 146, 150 whenever I look at the watch.
I don't know how you do it. Like I don't know if I'm trying to paint myself as like fucking fit as anything, but I would struggle to get to 140.
I'm about 135.
Well, even 135. Fuck, that's tough. Maybe I'm just being a bitch.
Like going like
going at it.
Like because I know if I think I'm at 135, I only need to be at 130. I take my foot off the pedal just a tiny bit. I'm down at 120. So I'm like, I'm going for it.
I'd say I'm like 127 to 130, my average during cardio, and then I do the sprint at the end. But that'll be.
I do a sprint at the start. I think I took that from your book, where I do a sprint for like 30 seconds to a minute and then start the timer.
Just to get your heart rate in range,
already up, yeah. So technically I'm doing 41 minutes of cardio a day.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it here. So this morning spent 8 minutes less than 131 BPM, 25 minutes between 132 and 145, and 4 minutes between 146 and 160 BPM.
Yeah, that's fucked hot. You must be the most unfit guy ever.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I must be. But here as well, just to make it even worse, I actually haven't had a coffee this morning. I didn't do the coffee before the bike because I'm thinking about going to Starbucks and getting a iced Americano after this. So I was like, right, I'll just forego it today. I have to be honest as well. I am going to ask the question this Wednesday, right, when's cardio being pulled here? Because it's surely soon. And I'll touch on that maybe a bit more in my own update. But
you only go twice a week, don't you?
Twice a week? Yeah. It's weird, mate. Like I totally pulled mine last prep, end of August. Didn't do any until that was it. There was no more cardio at
Yeah,
that.
we pulled mine like July,
Yeah.
end of June, July.
Obviously still posing daily. But yeah, like cardio wise, it just got pulled at that stage. So I've kind of been like readying myself for it over the last couple of weeks. Because even when I did it this morning, I was like, should I be doing this or should I just message AJ? But then I was like, he kind of told me politely a couple of times 2 or 3 weeks ago, if I don't tell you something, it doesn't change. Like if
Stick
I
to
don't
the
tell you,
plan. Yeah, no.
stick to it. So I was
I
like, right,
think if you put yourself in like AJ's shoes, imagine you had a client,
yeah,
got their plan, they're like, oh, I didn't think I should do cardio, and you're like, you what?
yeah.
Do
Well, it's
you
not that,
do the
mate.
plan?
It was actually me asking, are we running the high days again this weekend? Like, because it wasn't really touched on, and he was like, mate, like if I don't tell you not to, you're running them. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That is
So I
your
was like, for
standard
me, I was
plan.
sitting going, bro, like I'm on prep here. Like, do we want to just dig for 2 days and whatever? Um, but yeah, just ran them anyway. I'll touch on it, check in to see when it's being pulled. But for the last 2 weeks, I've only done one cardio session per week. So, and that was kind of for a few reasons. The first time round, I was training with Matt legs the day prior, and he didn't want me doing cardio day after legs. And then obviously last week, Alton Towers. Because that kind of brings me on to my own update.
Any
So
word on that YouTube? Sorry, any word in that YouTube video? No,
haven't heard back yet, mate.
I'm
I'm
looking forward to that. Like,
trying not to pressure Ross either. But we are obviously like, as Matt touched on, 2 weeks today, mate. I'm gonna be fucking
2
doing
weeks
filming
tomorrow.
time again.
It'll drop the night before the show.
Yeah, yeah. 2 weeks today, you'll be filming me for the next one, and it's gonna be a big vlog. I would say I'm sort of spoke to him about it. I'm targeting like a 30-40 minute video, like for the show day. So yeah, hopefully it will. Hopefully it will be coming soon. But yeah, no. Turns out, probably going to Alton Towers 3 weeks out isn't the best idea. I've had a pretty tough week, to be fair, the toughest week of my prep so far, just in terms of how it felt. Sessions wise, were actually annoyingly inconsistent up until yesterday. Last night upper was poor. I'm not gonna lie. That's the first session I've had this prep where I've been like, don't really want to be here, and I've dropped 5 kilos off a few of my top sets, and then only matched reps, and it's like, yeah, this isn't great. But strangely enough, legs on Thursday evening, I had the best leg session I've had all prep and took a few progressions. So yeah, it's super inconsistent right now, but I felt pretty on my arse since I got back from Derby, to be honest. And I felt like for the first time, I was absolutely crawling towards these high days today and tomorrow. And I do know, you lads were talking about it there. I know looking at myself last night is definitely the closest to being flat I have felt all prep. When I hit my front double, I was like, mate, what am I looking at here? Like, I just don't look anything like how I did a week ago. I don't really think that's a surprise either, because the high days that I had last weekend in Derby, I barely even gained any weight on the scales. I still had the high days, but like I was still weighing in at like sub 170, which isn't really normal at this stage of the game. But I do think I've been rewarded. I've definitely taken some pretty big steps forwards, conditioning wise. Like my glutes feel in now, like shrink wrapped, walking around, even sitting in a chair, which is quite relevant to one of the questions I got. But yeah, they definitely feel in now. My glutes and hamstrings are pretty much there, which is nice because, excuse me, admittedly, when AJ was looking at me, I was a bit like, mate, like, are you sure my hamstrings are there? And he was like, yeah, they're there, mate. There's maybe a little bit more to come off, but that'll come off throughout the season, you know. But yeah, feedback I got on the check-in shots on Tuesday morning was good. And yeah, when I say I feel like I've been on my arse the last couple of days, it was quite funny. Like, there was a moment last night when I was on the Nautilus single arm ISO row. You know, the one that sits beside you lads.
Compound row.
Yeah, the one that sits beside the Cybex. So I ran that last prep, and I have, like, for some reason, real vivid memories of doing that and being like, fuck this. I don't want to be here. This doesn't feel like I am achieving anything right now. Still felt a lot better than that. And I'm still, a lot stronger on that than last time. So I was kind of drawing parallels and was like, look, I'm having a pretty rough day today, but, at the end of the day, I'm still in a really good spot. This is probably one of the first tough days I've had this prep, and could be a lot worse. And I'm also just, constantly reminding myself that you don't have to do this. And also feel, without sounding like cheesy, quite grateful I can do it, because I have actually spoken to a few people over the last couple of weeks that were like, oh, I wish I could do that. But, for whatever reason, whether it's health related or whatever, that maybe, a prep or whatever just doesn't make sense. So yeah, it's been an eventful week, a good week getting back into routine. I've been nailing the sleep. D output for me today, high day setups, obviously over the weekend. I've got legs to get in tomorrow, and outside of that, not much else to report. I would imagine this time next weekend, I will probably not be running high days unless we start peaking
I
from
was going to say
Wednesday.
maybe that's the option. You start the peak a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I do remember, like, I'm looking at my sheets here. I do remember my peak for the WNBF Ireland last year was 10 days. It wasn't a week. So, because I do remember thinking, oh, we'll be digging, we'll probably just stick to low days over that weekend and then kick off the peak for Monday. But yeah, I'll obviously have to find out what the plan is.
I'm interested in
and
both
check in.
your peaks because CBAM, you're probably getting a linear load. Like, I'm interested in what you get.
Yeah,
put through.
definitely.
Mine could be anything. I think we're probably going to do like a 3-week peak.
3-week
think-
peak.
Well, when I say that, it's like it's going to be maybe a continuous peak.
Yeah,
Like, if that
but
kind of makes sense. Because
Do
I've
you
obviously got
build? Do
3
you
shows
mean like
back to back.
build up to 100% for MBFI?
Yeah. Like that sort of approach, rather than go, okay, we're going to rapid backload on for this WMBF show, then pull back down a couple of days. Like, this is the thing, we can't predict these peaks now. You really don't know what it's going to be. If your coach is giving you the peak week plan pretty early, not a good sign. I think we're just going to be taking it day by day as what we've been doing with these check-ins anyway. But if you're heading into a peak week, priority number one is dropping off that fatigue first. So I'll be de-outputting, bringing steps down, removing cardio. Which, look, I don't know when that could be. It could be from next week, or it could, I could still be doing cardio on Monday, Tuesday into the peak week. You never know, just to try and get a little bit sharper. And then steps pulled on, and then potentially just put food in, treating it as like 2 high days, like Friday, Saturday, potentially. Don't know. And there's no point sort of worrying about any of that yet. So,
What way are you working around posing calls and just work in general for the shows?
working as normal up until Thursday. Then we're obviously traveling Friday, so I won't be doing any calls then. Potentially when I'm in England for the show the week after, I might still do calls on the Friday in the morning, because it's a Saturday show. So it means that I'm leaving on Thursday, so there's no calls can be done on Thursday. So then I might do some on Friday morning, like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Need to figure out
early, tick off like 3.
Yeah, just because I don't want to, I want to get people booked in if they can. I don't want to be taking, multiple weeks off work with what I do. Yes, like at the end of the day, I'm running a business. I'm providing a service. People paid for a service, so I want to try and make sure they can get booked in and stuff. And if people are also doing shows, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm not taking any calls for 3 weeks, and they're like, shit, I need help with something. I'll still be doing check-ins as normal. I'll probably say to people, if possible, just alternate your check-in and call week. So instead of doing like check-in, call, check-in, maybe do call, check-in, check-in. So it's a little bit less work for me there, not stressing about trying to get booked in. But I'll see what happens. I'm not overly worried about it.
Yeah, they make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's the same with anything. It just requires a bit of planning. But no, it'll be the same for me, albeit I'm sure a bit less so on the clients front. Jake, yourself?
You keep mentioning like 2 weeks out, and to be honest, all this week I've been thinking, fuck, this time next year it could be me 2 weeks out. And I'm just thinking, it's surreal for you 2 weeks out, but I'm a year and 2 weeks out, and for someone that it's going to be their first time or season, it's like, fuck. That's even mad to think about. So I've had that running through my mind all day, because I said all day, but all week really. I'm also thinking that my season will be pretty damn similar to the both of yous. Like MBW Irish shows, and then take your pick at a bunch scattered about throughout the calendar. But yeah, as for me this week, another week just ticking along. Body weight was like middle of 197s on average. I did have to actually pull my food down a little bit, just like 25-30 grams of carbs each day, just because body weight was like, I was adding quality weight, but as a natural, you can't just constantly add that body weight every week. Yeah, go by the visual, but there comes a point where it's gonna kick you in the ass, and you're gonna check in one day and be like, oh fuck, this has gone too far. So scaled that back, and of course, as expected, training didn't take a hit, but appetite went up majorly. So aside from the little reduction in food, I've also became Honey's probably number one fan. Well, maybe second to Sas Harati. But yeah, fuck me, I love a bit of honey. You've ever had honey, eggs, sourdough, and sriracha? Mate, that is fucking real.
Sounds great.
See, I'm not a huge sriracha fan, but if I put the reduced sugar sweet chili, because that's already sweet, I think that would be
mate, like I seen that someone bought sriracha in our fridge. No one likes spice in our family. Like Poppy does, my sister, but she wouldn't like cover her meal in sriracha. So I don't know how it got there. And I always hear people talking about sriracha on eggs, and I'm like, I like my red sauce here, my zero sugar red sauce, but I chucked the sriracha on, and mate, there's just something about the combination between eggs and sriracha goes so well. And then I'm also having a bit of honey in that meal one, and this is really like a stupid way how it's came about, but I have my yogurt in a glass bowl, and it's like really, really narrow. So if I do like 15 honey, it's like a fucking pool of honey in that bowl.
Like one of those.
It's even smaller than that, even more narrow. So I do like 10 honey in the yogurt, and then like 5 over the sourdough, and mate, that's fucking incredible. So I'm really enjoying my food again, to be honest. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to training. Go ahead.
One thing, I was watching Cammy Owen's like peak week vlogs, and he had honey and dates on beef, and said it was mental. I imagine that would be.
I mean, I've had honey on beef. Yeah, that is unreal.
Imagine fucking some dates in there as well.
Yeah, did you listen to the engineered pod this morning?
I'm only about 15-20 minutes in. They were just talking about.
Hilly says about freezing dates, and they're eating them just straight out of the freezer, and they're like actual toffee. So I might try that, even though I like bite them up and like put them in the meal, like in my chicken and rice or in my cream of rice. Yeah, imagine just a big fucking like block of toffee, an entire date.
I still can't get on board with that. I saw, I was actually going to send it to you. I think some girl put a TikTok out, and it was like something, it did go kind of viral. It was like, the caption was something like, don't hate me, but like, I'm going to make use of like the vectors my body provides me with. And she took a bit of dark chocolate, bit it up, and fucking spat it out all on top of her oats.
Do you not do that?
The same way you do it. No, fuck, mate. I literally sit and break it up. Like,
but mate, then your chunks are fucking massive.
There's something weird in me, mate, where I'm like, when that shit goes in my mouth, it's not being put back out
again.
You're
Yeah.
not alone, because anytime I do it in the kitchen, my family's in there, they're like, Jake, that is actually fucking minging. Because I'll do it with dates, dark chocolate. I'll do it with my strawberries because I don't want to get a chopping board out. Like, yeah, my mouth is
I've started using a knife to chop my dark chocolate, to be fair.
I did that the other night and put the dark chocolate into a creamy as mixing, and holy fuck, it just made it so much better using a knife, like getting the little it like makes it like
a flake.
Yeah,
mate, it's good. I do that in my yogurt bowl. One thing, shout out to Sam Beardsworth, big Lifestyle Loops listener. He is just won.
Yep.
I believe that's novice.
Look at the delts on that. Mega.
He is also one of my posing clients as well. Lovely, lovely lad. He is so nice. So shout out Sam.
Yeah, it's a nice moose muscular as well. Lovely stuff.
Let's go.
Good start to the day.
I think that's all I have to update on, really. Yeah, boring as fuck.
Training going well.
I was just going to ask, how's the back?
How's my back? My lower back?
The injury?
Actually, like, perfect, mate. I went like 2 weeks straight of like putting deep heat on it every morning, but like, mate, my lower back's been through that much. I'm like, I can sort of crack on.
Can I end up like me in 10 years?
Hopefully my knees work.
Having to reset your deadlift, something shocking.
I don't mind. Mate, look at my training approach now. If I'm stiff legging 3 plates down the line, I'll just be like, it's quality set though.
Quality set though. Yeah. I just touched wood, but like I'm a bit shocked that I'm still pulling 180 at this stage, to be honest. I remember pulling 180 at the start of prep, and AJ was like, mate, like if you're still pulling 160 by the end of prep, that's still positive. Still pulling 180 for a solid 5, which I'm happy with.
I actually wanted to say, when you said you had a bad upper session, you had to pull down load on a few lifts, it's like, do you actually think you should retain 100% of your strength in a prep?
No.
I think, see these people that make it their fucking persona that retain strength on everything. Mate, how are you doing the same lifts 40 pounds lighter? You aren't. You are not.
I think why it annoys me, Jake, is I'm looking at the sheets and I'm going, okay, Cameron, mate, you were 170 this morning and you were 174 weeks ago. So why is that dropped?
I get that, yeah.
It's kind of like
time in a deficit. I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like I must say, I came away from that trip, and I like that wee comment as well, Jake, about the front raises. I came away from that trip with a few sort of wee pointers. I was like, there's a few things here that they feel still good to me, but I maybe just want to dial them back a touch given where I'm at. It's almost like, mate, to be honest, I don't really realize where I'm at in terms of like here's another one. I almost don't want to ask the question. I haven't had my training volume pulled down at all on prep. I haven't had any volume decreases, nada. Last prep, I think a good few of my sessions we pulled sets out of and, tried to enhance my recovery. Part of me came out of that upper session yesterday wondering, fuck, have I gone over the hill now? Should I maybe be bringing this up and saying, look, like I had a class, because it's becoming consistent, I'm not going to lie, class lower session on a Thursday, class lower session on a Sunday, and then I go into push and upper, and both sessions I'm coming out of going, fuck. But then they're also presses, where...
Yeah, but it's... they're presses which are going to take a hit, but you should still try to act accordingly with volume, I know for me, mate, I soon, probably 2 weeks into my pre-prep, I'll probably have to pull volume down. That's just naturally the way I program. I try to maximize it when I can recover, but mate, the fact that you haven't pulled any, sort of a credit to you, fair enough.
Yeah, there's been an element of me this prep where I've been I've tried to, at least up until now, and I'm sort of sometimes getting a bit worried that I'm flicking the switch and worrying about stuff I shouldn't really be worrying about, at 18 weeks into prep. But I've really tried to employ that mindset that someone like AJ would preach in his videos, no, like the logbook stays where it's at. you know, you maintain your numbers. Obviously, yes, you know, you asked the question, do I believe that you should really try and, you know, keep everything the same? It's not going to, you know, like a good example. I think my high incline Smith, I was pressing 105 on the bar. That's not including the bar. At peak off season, I dropped it to 95 on Monday for a set of 6, and I was a bit reluctant to drop it under 100, but I got a good quality set of 6. And now I'm starting to look at those sets and go, mate, you're 2 weeks out. Like, that was a good set. It wasn't like peak numbers, but it was a fucking good set, you know? Um,
I just
so
personally
yeah,
don't see how you can uphold strength. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
it's hard, man. Like, I think the other reason it's kind of fucked with me a wee bit more this prep is because I've lost less weight than I was expecting to.
Yeah.
In that I'm still walking around at 170 pounds, which it's kind of funny. Jake, I think I mentioned this a few times, but do you remember you first commented on my MBW log and you were like, mate, load up the bar with 170 or something? And it was like back a couple of years ago, literally just as I started the log and we hadn't actually really trained together. You commented on my log saying like, mate, load up the stiff legs for 170 and just grip and rip. And it was you commented that in response to me. I think at the time I was being a bit of a downer because I'd fucked my reverse a bit. And I had went from like 164 up to 170 around Christmas in the space of a couple of days. So that's what I was weighing, you know, 6, 7 weeks post show after gaining 10 pounds body weight. Whereas this time I'm walking around at that, obviously stage ready. So it's weird, man. Like I'm also trying to appreciate like I've just not lost as much body weight as I was expecting to. And as a result, that's maybe played into me looking at the logbook going, oh well fuck, you shouldn't really have maybe dropped things as much as you would have expected to then.
It should be the goal to uphold as much as possible, but I don't think it's feasible. And if you see someone on, sure, Graham, he had a right rant on his story. He's like, "You are not gaining +5 kilo." I laughed my head off of that. That was great.
So did I. He's right though, like
Yeah, see if someone on their story, the balls deep in prep, they're actually in condition. See if they're saying they're progressing strength and stuff. Mate, they're changing execution. They've either
I was
changed.
even thinking it's either execution is changing right now, or you were fucking half-assing it 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Or another one is they added a movement in 2 rotations ago where they changed the variation and now they're getting neurological adaptations and they're gaining a bit of load. Well, fucking done, mate. That's not doing anything.
Yeah. Like I said there about me hitting PRs or whatever on Thursday for legs, but it's not a PR actually, mate. It's a PR for the prep. But no, it's not even. It's a progression. That's what it is. I've dropped the load by about fucking 10 kilos aside on the hack, but I got 2 more reps. And at this stage, I'm going, fuck here. Like, that's a bit mad that I was able to grind those out. So it feels like a massive win. But yeah, realistically, like strength has dropped. It's going to drop a bit. I was a bit pissed off at myself last night after my knotless overhead press, and a guy actually came up to me and was like, "Mate, that like you can tell that's all shoulders. Like you're moving that well." And I was like, "Oh well, I wasn't very happy with myself after that." And he was like, "I could tell." But it is what it is, you know. Like as well, something I've noticed throughout this prep is just when I do have a session like that, I tend to then gain back some performance the following week. Don't know if that'll be the case, you know, as we move towards the shows here, but yeah, at the same time, trying not to worry about it too much because we're really at the business end of things now, and training's really just the vector to hold on to what you're going to present on stage, you know.
I'll probably just focus on stimulus, mate.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was getting at. Like I've actually tried to employ that a bit more since training with yourself and just realizing that things don't need to be like full stack all the time, you know. Even if the form does look relatively good and the feedback I've gotten has been relatively good. still probably just makes sense to clean things up a tad. So yeah. I suppose one topic we wanted to chat about today, and it is a hotly debated one. It's around the topic of gyms staying bodybuilding orientated in this day and age, and is that even possible without attracting? And I want to be careful here. I don't want to sound like an absolute bell end when we're talking about this topic, but attracting sort of lifestyle clients or lifestyle just
demographic.
Your average Joes, coming into a gym. So thoughts on this, lads?
I don't think
they how it originated, how we actually started talking about this.
Yeah, you probably should.
How did we, Butcher?
I don't know. I was just about to get a message up me.
You chat through it.
I think I messaged you, didn't I, about it?
You were like,
was it about TPC?
Yeah.
I would say that you said something about TPC, and I was like, you had mentioned, because the initial plan for me, life plan, was to move over to England for this year in this prep, and just business wise, kind of made sense. I could do more in persons with all my English clients, and I could also train out of TPC, because that was the plan, train out of the physique club in Loughborough. Because I was still coached by Finn at the time. It meant, oh, great, it's a good gym, small gym, good bits of kit, have my coach there to be able to check over me when I need. And I was like, that sounds like the perfect plan. But we kind of talked about how the physique club was kind of, I don't want to say regressed, but just how it's kind of like transformed from what it was initially when gym opened and we first started going there to what it's like now. And how it's become a little bit more commercial's not the right word, but you're just getting more like lifestyle people going, because there's more people in the area in Loughborough who are like knowing about the gym now. But obviously it's not created for bodybuilders, but they select kit and they are bodybuilders and they're like picking the best bits of kit that bodybuilders would want. And we just kind of chatted about how the vibe has kind of changed within the gym as a result. Don't get me wrong, still a fantastic gym, and I recommend anyone would, go there. But it's different to what I had initially experienced when I was like, I'm going to move over there and prep out of there. And we just sort of started debating and chatting, like, is it actually possible for a gym to stay for bodybuilders? Or, is it always going to end up more lifestyle at some point?
I think it's a weird one, because I think people, like general gym pop, are just going to go to the closest gym to them, in my opinion. Like, I drive 40 minutes out of the way for the dock, where someone will just say, okay, there's a Pure gym there, I could go to the Pure gym. But if the dock's closer to there, they're not going to care if it's a bodybuilding orientated gym. I think they're just going to sign up. And Rob at the desk, I don't think he's going to say no to another membership, even though it's painted as the mecca of bodybuilding. So it's like, is it down to like income that he doesn't want to turn away members? Would you even is turning away members even fathomable? Like, would you even do that? I don't know.
I just think it looks pretty shit on the gym as well if he's going, no, you're not a bodybuilder.
Like,
you can't
so you can't really do it. So if people are just going to the closest gym to them, there's going to be like different clientele joining the gym.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's different clientele and different mindsets. It's kind of funny. Like, a lot's been made about this gym that's just opened up in England, that TDM gym, which I know they were talking about this on the Big Dog Cast as well, and the fact that a membership there is priced at £97 a month and a day pass is £27. The way that you get around these average shows or kids, teenagers joining the gym, and if you're wanting to get into an environment that's serious about training and bodybuilding, in my opinion, that's probably how you do it. You increase your prices to that level. It should be a premium.
FLF is $120 a month, I think.
Yeah. So like, there you go. Like, there's certain people who will be priced out there.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny as well. Like, for me personally, would I pay 97 quid a month for a gym? Yeah. Legit, I would, mate, if it was the right setup. You know, let's take Ultraflex Derby. I trained there and I B modified last week. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of preferred the setup in Derby. I know a lot of people really like B modified, but I think just Ultraflex for me was a great setup, really clean too. But I would probably pay 97 quid a month for somewhere like that if that's how much they were charging. You know, um, obviously, yes, you have certain expectations paying that sort of money in terms of environment, in terms of kit. And I don't want to sort of start suggesting that anybody who's serious about, making their gym a bodybuilding gym to start charging those prices. But for someone like me with my investment in this, I would pay that. Quite funny as well, relevant to this, there was some TikTok I saw the other day, and I don't know why I felt compelled to do this because I'm not really like this. But it was an advert for a gym, and it was like a High Rocks gym somewhere in Scotland, and it was like £160 a month, but it was like unreal. Like in terms of kit, mad, like really, really high level saunas, fucking everything. And some guy in the comments wrote, "Why would I pay this when I can pay £26 for a pure gym?" And I replied to it. Shout out to Eloisa for actually liking all of my replies as well. I noticed that one the other day. So obviously this TikTok's kind of gone viral in Scotland or something. But yeah, I replied saying, yeah, you can pay £26 and probably become extremely demotivated training in that environment within a pure gym over time. If you're someone that wants to make like a serious change to your physique, or what else did I say? I said something like, look, if your investment in the gyms is up there enough, you'll pay it. It's as simple as that. And I do really agree with that. For some people, they're just going to want to pay £26 a month, and that's all it's worth to them. Other people, like ourselves, I'm sure we would pay a bit more, and then that way maybe you're not going to be as surrounded as maybe we are at the minute, because I know our gym obviously charges quite a
I was
low
gonna
fee.
I was gonna bring this up. We're literally cheaper than a pure gym. 25 a month is like fucking ridiculous for a gym this day and age.
Yeah,
So it's no wonder that it's attracting like every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
yeah, absolutely. I do think that the thing you kind of need to realize as well, though, like the gym and fitness and bodybuilding as a whole is booming at the minute. Like 10 years ago, it was not as popular as it is now. Like 10 years ago, we would be viewed as absolute fucking aliens. I think that's reflected in the sport, natural bodybuilding growing, enhanced bodybuilding as well. Obviously, maybe it's less obvious because, the Olympia has always been massive. But like in natural bodybuilding, especially, like the growth in the sport over the last couple of years, people getting more interested, and just gym memberships and the fitness industry as a whole is obviously just growing each year in terms of revenue. All you have to do is look at the amount of fucking mad products that like perform, and all these other companies are coming out with now as well.
I
It's
mean,
so obvious.
even just look at the decline in like nightlife,
Yeah,
in
massive.
like the amount of bars and stuff that are closing because people just don't go out anymore because they're
Yeah,
investing in themselves and going to the gym and focusing on health and fitness. They're not going out on a Friday night because they want to get up and go for a run, go to their Saturday morning run club.
yeah,
Like the whole landscape of everything is completely changing. Like people
yeah,
just don't go out. Younger people just don't go out. They rather go to the gym, which is fucking sick to see. It is
yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
I need to
massively.
run and grab my charger. Use continue.
Your
Yeah.
Wi-Fi fuck big, by the way.
Yeah, it's probably his charger. It's
Yeah.
probably his laptop's charge. Shit in the bed a bit as well on that front. But yeah, no, it's become increasingly evident, I think, over the last couple of years. And it's kind of interesting, like, oh, where will it be in a couple of years' time? Obviously, as a result of that, though, you are just going to see gyms getting busier and busier. Like, it used to be like January every year was like the, oh, for fuck's sake. Whereas now it's just like, sometimes it's worse over the summer because
I
the
was going to
kids
say,
are off.
mate, see, April, May, people are like, oh, summer's coming, I need to get in shape. It's
Yeah,
absolutely hectic in the gym, doc.
yeah. Another I mean, another good example of, how popular the industry and all that's getting is you just have to look at the amount of online coaches there are. Like, I know again, this is kind of a sticky topic. There technically isn't a qualification required, but like, even if you look at the amount of PTs that have got qualified nowadays, higher than it would have been, years ago. And then coaches as well, like people who are putting themselves out there trying to build a business within the sector. It's just something that's growing massively. And as a result, you are seeing more and more people get interested. Like, I remember 10 years ago, if you were like 15, my parents would have just been like, fuck off. What are you going to the gym for? Like, you're still growing. You don't need to go to the gym until you're like 18.
Stunt your growth, mate. You're
That's
going
stunt
to
your growth, bro.
not going to grow.
Yeah, exactly. So,
One thing I
yeah,
would say with the gyms as well, I think a lot of the time it comes back to the owners and how they want to keep the gym. Because if you go into a gym, like Gym Doc, Mecca of bodybuilding, we walk into the gym, the most outrageous tunes are playing, like not in a good way.
yeah,
It's just like the radio almost, and it's
yeah,
actually quite quiet. And there's just not that like vibe, if you know what I mean. You go to some like an old school bodybuilding gym in England, like imagine like Dino's gym and stuff,
yeah,
or even Ultimate Fitness. You go into Ultimate Fitness in Birmingham, music's blaring. It's a little bit more grungy. It looks like it's still a gym of the past, and it's like stuck 20, 30 years ago.
yeah,
You're not going to be getting like lifestyle people going to that and being like, "Oh, this gym's really, really nice."
yeah,
So I
yeah.
think that kind of falls back into attracting a certain clientele and who will stay in that gym.
I do have one thing I would like to say on this. Like, if you're marketing your gym as the mecca of bodybuilding and primarily a bodybuilding gym, mate, you can't be getting annoyed at people slamming plates down or slamming machines down
Yep.
or any of this. Like, I'm
Oh,
sorry, I'm waiting for that one, and I will be like, mate, is this a fucking library or a gym?
I
Now,
should have fucking
there,
said something to that by.
mate, there is a clear line here. Like, if you are fucking slamming it down, like roid rage level, right, unnecessary. But like, I think a good example is if you go on my page, any of the knotless overhead press sets that I do, on the last rep on those, like, I'll go for another rep, probably get stuck, and then I just let it go. I'm not going to stop doing that. I don't think that's disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful whenever, yes, say you were fucking right at the top, and you just let it fall, mate. Yeah, you know, but there's certain things like that. You cannot be marketing your gym as a certain sort of gym and then not actually following through on it. I do understand, there's lifestyle elements and all the rest of it, but if you're a bodybuilding gym, mate, training barefoot should be allowed. If you are a bodybuilding gym, there should not be any sort of complaints about fucking like plates being put on machines. Like, I
What
got
about me getting shouted at for leaving fucking chalk on the deadlift platform?
that one. Yeah, like, again, I think there's a line. Like, if you're making an absolute mess,
Mate, it's fucking powder coming off my hands when I'm drying it. Like,
yeah, that's grand.
yeah,
If you're
yeah.
fucking spilling a bottle of liquid chalk, it's like,
Yeah, I'm pouring it over. Yeah.
yeah, it's
I
like,
know.
right, probably get that sorted out. Um, and yeah, just generally don't be a cock, but as well, like, you need to think as well, in some of the more lifestyle based gyms, it is normal that you'll see guys walking around every machine and wiping it.
But you
In
seem to
ours,
be very locked in here. Is there a certain physique you're looking at right now?
Yeah, I've got two posing clients in this one.
Oh, I thought it was someone else.
Yeah, I've just seen them actually. Fucking
Competition.
junior. Fucking junior.
Yeah, fuck.
Crazy.
um, but yeah, no,
Is that Finn's guy in the middle?
Yeah, Eddie.
Yeah, nice. Next to Delonte. I don't know
Let's go,
anyone else
Eddie.
in this class. I know. But yeah, we'll get on my questions.
yeah, we probably should. Do you want to kick off with yours?
I'm going for
I probably won't run through all of mine because quite a few, and we could literally make a 2-hour podcast if we all done all our questions. I'll keep that one. This is an interesting one. Never place, from Jack Morrison, never place top 3 at an Irish show or fail a drug test post-show.
Never place.
Really, I think I'd low-key want to fail the drug test because, mate, did Adam Pye not? And, like, it's not like it destroyed his reputation.
Yeah, but you don't hear too much about it, but there will be people who are thinking, oh, that guy's a fake natty now.
I couldn't give a fuck. I'll just go enhanced then.
That's where the line gets drawn for me a bit, because like I've thought about it before. I got a bad dream once where I failed the drugs test and I was like, what do I do now? Like, I'm not going enhanced. So it's like, what do I do? You know? It's, yeah. I think it would be very tough on me. Especially considering all of the weeks leading up to the shows to then fail one. So yeah, I would have to just take the no placing. However, sometimes I do wonder. You know, I've obviously got I'm quite lucky, and I know I'm lucky when I say it, in that I've got quite fond memories of shows. In that, I think out of the 5 shows I've done, I've placed top 3 in 3 of them. And I've won 3 of them, sorry. So I haven't had that experience maybe of falling outside that often. And I'm sure if you did, there might become a point where you're like, fuck this.
Butcher, would you rather never place top 3 at an Irish show or fail a drug test post-show?
Never place top 3.
I had a feeling he'd go with that. Suppose you could actually just work around it and not do Irish shows.
Yeah, just do international shows.
I was just like, well, everyone should believe me that I'm not enhanced and I'm not cheating. And then if everyone starts accusing me of being enhanced, I'll just go enhanced.
Yeah,
pretty good rationale. Do you want to fire one, or will I go again?
I'll get mine up. You can do yours if you want.
Opinions on Monsters and zero-cal drinks as a tool to deal with post-prep cravings.
Post-prep's interesting.
Yeah.
On prep, I very much deal with them as I've been limiting myself to 2 per day maximum.
Is that Monster and zero-cal drink?
No.
Yeah. I think when you start, the only issue with them is the digestive stress, because I don't think anyone can comfortably claim that after their 2nd or 3rd sugar-free bev of the day that it still sits like nothing. I think you will notice something.
I agree. I've actually thought about this. It was literally this morning, and at the minute I'm having 3 servings of Catalyst, which I think is too much. So I'm going to pull that down. But mate, it's also because it has like potassium and sodium in it, so it's obviously impacting that electrolyte balance. And heading into peak week, it's like, okay, well, I'll have to keep that consistent anyway. But I'm thinking of pulling that down to 2, and then just keeping it 1 Monster, 1 0-calorie drink, like a 7-Up. I do like a wee 7-Up, and then no like sugar-free caramel or vanilla in my coffees. Just going.
I think that's stupid. Like, fuck, mate, you're depleted. Like, everything tastes good. Drink the black coffee. You don't need
that's
sugar.
What I mean. It's like I was having it and I was like, is this even making a difference? And I've just gone back to black, and it's sweet. It's actually it's really, really nice.
Yeah, I personally, mate, I have to be honest, when you're post-show, I don't really see the problem in it. But then again, I think my mindset's a little bit skewed in this, because I legit used to, mate, I would drink like 2 liters of Pepsi Max in a day.
That's a bit fucked. I think the carbonation is the biggest thing for me as well, even over the sweeteners. I think carbonation really fucks me up.
Yeah. It's also when you have that as well. Like, if you're having it, a lot of people sit down with a meal and one of them.
I
And
don't
I'm
get
like,
that. Ben Gardner, always.
ruined my stomach. I'm having
Yeah.
to like separate them. So it's like meal, gap, drink, gap,
Yeah.
meal.
Yeah.
The only difference is pre-workout. Like sometimes pre-workout, I'll maybe have a Monster like 10, 15 minutes after my meal, which in an ideal world, I wouldn't do it. But if it waited any longer, I'd be drinking on the way to the gym. I don't really want that sitting in my stomach too much. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think if you're sitting down and having a meal and also having a sugar-free beverage, that meal isn't going to sit anywhere near as good compared to
Definitely
if
not.
you're just sitting down with water.
Sure not.
Yeah.
Anyone want to fire one?
Yeah, well, I'll go with the next one because this is obviously a hot topic. Premier League predictions. What was the actual question here? Top four in relegation.
I'm gonna let you chat away because the amount of football media I've took in over the last like 2 years is absolute
Limited.
zilch.
We're binned
I
off the
I
football.
really
And
only focus
fucking,
on Arsenal because I'm an Arsenal fan. So I've fuck all ideas to what teams have recruited who, and
mate, unfortunately, I think we would all agree the the three that have come up will get relegated.
yeah, Coventry were fucking horrendous last night.
Yeah,
Really
so
bad.
that's an easy one there. I think Arsenal will win the title again. Liverpool look poor in terms of their signings at the minute. Man City look pretty poor. I don't know what the fuck has happened to them. They've just if Savinho and Marmoush go to Spurs, mate, their squad like they would need to buy about 5 players here. Seriously, and they've lost Pep as well. So I don't really see them doing too much. Could be wrong though, because they do have Haaland, but like they lost Rodri too. Like that's
Yeah,
mad.
that's a huge loss.
Um,
Chelsea could be good, couldn't
yeah, this is it. I honestly, I think Chelsea might. I honestly think it might be Chelsea or United for second, and I
they? Mhm.
think it's going to be Chelsea
Where the
because
fuck
we
have
always
United came from?
were. Mate, we finished third last year.
See, this is what I mean. I've took
Yeah.
nothing.
Since Ruben Amorim got sacked and Carrick came in, like if Arsenal had a few more off days, we legit could have been pushing them. It was a strange season for us. Like we won a lot of matches, but I just don't think we're at the level to be pushing for the title.
I think the difference was you were somehow winning games, but you weren't playing well.
Well,
And we were
yeah,
almost the opposite, where we weren't playing well, but we were winning games.
winning games.
But I think based on what I've seen from us this season, we're winning games and we're playing extremely well. Like, yes, that was Coventry last night, but we also look at the Community Shield final where we tore, well, I'm not going to say tore City to shreds, but we played them off the park. We're playing some really, really good football at the minute. The signings that we've made, outrageous. Like, you've got Guimaraes in midfield, Solis,
Yeah,
that
solid stuff.
winger is unbelievable, mate. He's like Sanchez. That I'm getting Sanchez vibes from him. So I thought he was just like a replacement for Trossard. It looks like he's actually an upgrade on Trossard.
Great on him.
And then we've got Konsa coming in now. So like our depth, I think that was the one thing people were saying about our squad depth. Yeah, like that starting team's incredible, but do you actually have the depth to back it up? And it's like, okay, well, you remove like 2 or 3 of those big players, we've still got so many good guys to come in. So
Yeah, I think yeah, your squad depth's just mad. I still think you're missing a striker, like someone who's like a standout.
I
But
don't, mate, Havertz, like
yeah, if you
he's
had mate,
so
if you
bad.
had like an Osimhen or you had like a world class, like if you got Vinny, I think it would be like it's over before it's even started. To be honest,
Yeah,
but
I think if a number 9 would be the one place to recruit, but I don't. I'm happy with Havertz and Gyökeres, and then
yeah,
even just having Marino to come on and maybe like slide up there as well.
yeah, he's good at coming in clutch. For us, I think if we get Baliba, to be honest, class signing. I think we just need defenders, and we're not going to get defenders this year. So I would say after Believer, our window will be pretty much done. I'd be surprised if we get a left back. Chelsea, I think I'm quite excited to see Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers together in a team. I think that could
Rogers
be,
is a brilliant player.
yeah. The other spot in fourth, I would love to say Spurs, to be honest, just because they've got so many exciting players now, but I can't see a team going from 17th. Like, they nearly got relegated, for fuck's sake, going up to fourth. So I think it's between Liverpool and City.
I would say City.
City.
If I think our rankings will be, our top four will be the same. I think we'll go Arsenal, Chelsea, United, City.
Yeah, and even saying that out loud, part of me is like, are we really going to finish ahead of City?
I don't know.
Because they have Holland, but then the rest of their teammate, like, it really just doesn't fill me with confidence. I was thinking about it yesterday, and I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Maresca's sacked.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
So it remains to be seen. But that would be my rankings. Jake, do you have anything to chime in on, or are you happy to just agree?
Not a fucking clue, mate. Like, you're saying names now, and I'm like, you what?
Even is this? That's fair. Mate, I got a question yesterday, which I remember looking at it in the gym, and I thought, this is a cracker. Like, this is actually a really good question. But it's disappeared. But I can't even remember who asked it. But it's not showing up in my thing. But it was this, and I thought this was a good one. If you back yourself to get into shape for every, time you need to, in terms of shows, in terms of whatever the fuck it is, it doesn't matter how fat you get in the off season. Discuss.
Oh, I like this one. Because I back myself getting in shape, and I've got fat, and I very openly have said it's not the best approach anymore, getting extremely fat, because it's just like, fuck, do you want the smooth prep? Like, I know you back yourself, and you'll go through it, but will it, would you not rather a smooth prep probably going to result in a better look on stage? Like, you have to remember, we're naturals. Like, there's no guarantee that we keep muscle on our frame. There's every possibility of losing it once you go under a certain level of food, hit a certain level of output. So even if I was backing myself, which I do, like, there's no point for me getting 50 pounds above stage weight.
It's just not worth it, man. Like, I think I've seen that. Like, I back myself to get in shape when I need to for anything now, pretty much. Like, I know that I won't turn up. I just won't compete, mate, if I'm not in shape. Like, that's it, really. Like, even that Two Bro show, I remember going into it a bit like, fuck, like, am I ready? And then turned out, obviously, yeah, I was definitely, I didn't look out of place. But mate, like, I have to then just look at how this prep's gone for me and be like, realistically, I stayed lean in the off season now. It's something I've spoke to AJ about quite a bit. Like, we didn't really push me up too far, and I'm still making really good progress. And I think that's the approach I'm going to take this next time round as well.
2 more points. Off season won't be as productive in those like final 10 pounds when you are a fat mess, can't eat, and you're not responsive to your food. Point 2, there's no guarantee. You might back yourself. There's no guarantee you get in shape. If you start 50 pounds above stage weight, as a natural, you have 2 tools: your expenditure and your intake. Food can only get so low. You're not going to be eating 800 calories a day. Like, I just don't see that feasible. And, if you have to do 2 hours of cardio, there's the muscle loss playing into things as well.
You have to break up that prep into 3 phases.
Yeah.
And essentially then you're just doing like a pre-prep, then a push-up, then another diet, then a little push-up, and then a diet. It's like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So no, I still definitely don't think it's as productive. Even if you back yourself from a good start point, and you're in line for a very fucking good prep.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Agreed.
Butcher.
Yep. From Will Robbie. Shout out Will, who just took 5th in the team class.
Big Northern.
He's actually put 2 in here. We'll go with the first one. Thoughts on sharing a mixed grill as a starter at the Indian?
CBAM, shall we do it in October?
Probably should. See, to be fair, it's not a bad idea. Like, there's just better choices you could make, in my opinion. Chicken pakora beats a fucking mixed grill every day.
Mate, I need a fucking onion bhaji back in my life.
I don't know. I like the idea of a mixed grill. I think you get good options in terms of the protein.
You do, yeah.
If obviously, because we're bodybuilders, we're replacing a certain amount of meals. So it's like, okay, well, I don't mind getting 100 grams of protein from the soft plan. So
should have seen the size of the fuck. I think I've only ordered a mixed grill once in my life, and it was in. It wasn't in an Indian. It was in Croatia. But you should have seen the fucking size of this thing that I
need
got.
to tick off a Turkish.
Mate, Turkish food looks incredible. It was a mixed grill, but it was a main course when I was on holiday in Gran Canaria. Not recently, but it was a couple of years ago. Mate, this was like 400 grams of protein in one meal.
Yeah.
It was absolutely absurd. It was like a full steak, a full pork chop, a couple of sausages. There was some other kind of steak thing. There was chicken breast, lamb. It was ridiculous. I don't know why I got it, but it was incredible.
Well, we'll start looking up Turkish places in Marbella. In class. Who's putting in the Nobu reservation?
If anyone does have any Marbella recommendations for food, please let us know.
Marbella, please. Butcher, do you want to fire another one in?
Yeah, the other Will Robbie question was never be able to have salt in a meal again or never have a sweet meal again.
Oh, never be able to have salt, mate.
Never have it, mate. What?
I sat and I was like, instantly I was like, oh, never have salt. And I was like, oh, no, actually.
You'd have to drink your salt, lad.
Lad, I don't have salt in the off-season. I don't salt my food. I have a couple cracks of pink salt. That's it.
Mate, I think there's a lot of rogue things we've talked about your off-seasons, and I think that's the worst one. Don't salt your food, bye.
No.
Fuck
I
me.
Mate, I only started salting my food at 14 weeks out.
See, Bam, I can't defend you on that one, bye.
This boy has an overall. What?
Yeah. Mate, like...
You're not helping your case. Like, you're known for if it fits your macros. Now you're going to be known for no salt.
I honestly, mate, I think... I don't know. Like, it worked for me.
Do you know what I mean? The purpose of it? Were you just like, I cannot be arsed?
I can't be arsed doing this anymore, mate. Yeah.
Suppose you're that.
The pink salt, the kilo bag, cause I was telling my mum about this, the kilo bag of pink salt that I refill my engineered salt dispenser with at the minute, I bought it on last prep and I'd had about 800 grams in it whenever I started salting my food at 14 weeks out. And I remember going to AJ, I think I was like, mate, I probably should start salting my food here and actually paying a bit more attention to my fluids. And
You're
he was
like, an idiot.
Yeah, I probably should, yeah.
So we're starting prep, we're going to be a bit more militant with our salt intake. We're talking about, okay, I'm going to weigh it to the gram. You're like, I'm actually just going to start fucking using it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Salt makes everything taste so much nicer as well.
Did you get a pump in the off season?
Yeah.
Just purely down to the amount of processed shit you're eating, getting all your sodium from that.
I think I spoke about this
in Neutralines.
I think I spoke about this on. I was laughing at something about Neutraline last night. I'll tell you that in a minute. But mate, it's mad the difference in me in the off season. Like, see if you look at my supplement cupboard right now, half of that, not 75% of that shit would not be there if it was the off season. Like, it just wouldn't.
Oh, I love bodybuilding. I fucking love it.
Another brilliant one is pump products. Like, I just wouldn't take a pump in the off season.
Really? Oh fuck! I think it's class.
I like it, but like I scale back massively on costs for supplements in the off season. I really do, and maybe I won't this time. Like I do think my goals have maybe shifted a little bit through this prep because I've realized, oh, I actually am quite good, or people do rate me, from a competitive standpoint. I discovered that one last weekend as well. I made a few things come out of my mouth, and people were like, "Mate, I think you're being a bit harsh on yourself there." And I was like, "All right, okay." So maybe I will take it a little bit more seriously and invest a little bit more. But like, genuinely, my off season, mate, creatine, fucking way. Sleep sups were totally
Omega,
sacked.
vitamin D.
Yeah, Omega,
Oh,
vitamin
you're not.
D's. No, not vitamin D, sorry.
No.
Omegas and joint support. And
Oh,
I'll
the
leave it.
essential. The
The
essential,
essential,
yeah.
mate. Yeah. Fuck
Fuck,
me.
that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
I was gonna
So
so the going back to the point, mate, I'm sorry I can't sacrifice on sweet meals. Like I just can't. But the Nutrilean thing, before I forget about it, coming up to peak coming up to peak week. Peaking last year for the WNBF Ireland on Nutrilean pancakes. Oh Christ. Like I was thinking to myself, I was like, surely this year is gonna go much, much better. Like, I will make improvements. I'm a lot more militant in my processes. The meals I'm having are so much higher quality. And I was legit thinking, bro, I used to go to the shops every day to get the fucking caramelized biscuit, Nutrilean pancakes as part of my peak, and make the whey paste and berries, toast the pancakes, and put that on top. And I'd actually have been like, yeah, like this is a solid meal.
oh, I'm dying. No salt in the off season's the best thing I've ever heard. Mate.
Oh.
Fuck me. Making Ben and Jerry's tub into a cream of rice. I think terrific because you've got a bit of everything in there with the cinnamon notes and the wee chocolatey chunks. I think terrific's just like that'll be unbelievable.
I think it's one of the best, man.
Wait, I'm trying to find my list for the Ben and Jerry's just to make sure I'm
Imagine
not being
half
silly.
baked. It would be like a chocolate brownie and cookie dough, vanilla flavored cream of rice.
Dolce delish. Mate, imagine like a really vivid salted caramel.
No.
Oh fuck! Because salted caramel JP isn't like it's a nice flavor. It's not like vivid. Like it's not like caramel biscuit level vividness. So imagine salted caramel vividness. Vividness. Do you like that word?
I do.
Not sure it exists, mate.
Shut up. Does salt exist in the off season?
It might
I'm
do.
gonna leave my questions there. There's a few decent ones that I want to save.
I have two that I'll ask as part of this then. Shay McCall, many weeks ago, was it painful for you to sit your arse on the shitter, to be honest, mate? Like, I've kind of touched on it, but it wasn't up until this week. And now it's definitely there a little bit more. Matt, do you have that?
I've got it in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I've noticed it when I've been doing cardio on the bike. And I'm like, this just does not feel comfortable. And then I get up and I'm like, feels like nothing's there. And I've definitely noticed like my boxers and stuff just hanging off me at the minute.
Hanging off.
Everything is hanging off me. So I know the glutes are, well, I can tell by the photos back in, I know the glutes are definitely coming in.
Yeah. My red trunks that I wear for all my check-in shots are fucked now. Like they don't stay up. I do one round of quarter turns and they've fallen down, and then it's like, right. And I refuse to put any other pair on because obviously trunks do get ruined by just putting them on and off constantly in the posing room. So, yeah. And then Morgan Kilo, shout out. I don't think we've actually mentioned these now. He hasn't changed it, to be fair. It should be Morgan _Kilo _WMBF Pro. But yeah, he asked, which show would you like to bring your best look to? Gonna be honest, mate, the one in 2 weeks' time. That is what is most important to me.
That's a good
WNBF
question.
Ireland.
I like that. I like that
Yeah.
question.
Matt?
Do you think that's the most important one? Is that why? Or is it because home show?
See, I feel like it is the most important to me on a personal level, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring I obviously want to bring a brilliant look to them all, but I think there's just something about, like, it's the first one as well. You want to come out and people be like, oh, fuck.
I
First
do
one.
have that to a certain extent where I'm like, it's the first time getting back on stage after 2 years. I want people to kind of be like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Like,
he's improved.
yeah, that's kind of what I want. But if I'm thinking about the season that I want to do, I would probably say NBW.
Yeah,
I think that'll be just look, because it'll hopefully be a bigger crowd. It's a bigger production. I think having my best physique at that show it would kind of make sense.
yeah, it's sort of between those two for me, like, because in saying the WNBF Ireland, it's like, am I setting myself up then for a subpar look at the NBW sort of thing? But yeah, I think there is admittedly for me something about the two Irish shows on a personal level where I'm like, look, I'm a previous champion here. Obviously, I'd like to do quite well at these two, and then we'll take it from there. So yeah, that is quite important to me. Anything else, or we'll leave it there?
I'll do one more. Kieran Daly, can we hear the LL team's option on the caramel snackajack challenge?
Oh, that's how many could you eat in one sitting?
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't even fucking spill over my macros for a snackajack. I don't think they're that good.
Just answer the fucking question, mate.
They're not meant, but
But that's what I mean. Like, I don't think I would like push myself to stomach a lot.
Would you ever walk and go, I'll take the L and not
Yeah, like genuinely. Remember, I had that one derby, and I was like, oh, okay.
I reckon I could probably have about 10 before I got bored.
I'm thinking break it up and make it into popcorn. Bring it to the cinema.
Yeah, that's a bit meta. Yeah,
Like, that's a cheat code. Imagine sitting down for, what do you use, like Spider-Man or something, with a large popcorn bucket, and it's just caramel snackajacks broken up.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Very valid.
What I find so mad, like, some people go to the cinema, get their popcorn, buy a bag of buttons, and they fuck the buttons into the popcorn.
You can Omniplex offer that now.
Really?
If you go to buy popcorn, it'll like ask you popcorn topper, like plus £1.50 buttons. Low key debating it.
Do they have weight?
Seems a bit like mad to me though. Like,
I don't think it goes, but I'm interested.
Yeah. Yeah. But then I guess chocolate covered popcorn is a thing. Like, you can buy it in shops and stuff.
I think that's the issue. It's not covered the popcorn, is it? It's just like
it's just a little.
Would it melt though? Like, if the popcorn was warm enough?
Well, you're lifting in fucking shit all over your hand.
That's what I was thinking. Like, you're gonna be walking.
I don't think Omniplex serve their popcorn warm. I think that's like an American thing where they pour the butter over it, isn't it?
Yeah, Jake, you should be the guinea pig here and let us know how it is.
No, it's actually mad the amount I go to the cinema and the fact I never get food.
Don't partake.
Yeah.
Such a waste though, mate, to me. Like, I know people like that talk about those ultimate buckets of fucking, like, the ultimate bucket from Omniplex, and it's like, bro, it's a fucking bucket of 1,200 calories, and you're telling me that you're gonna like sink that?
Yeah, no.
Nah.
Because I always say it when talking about off plans, like, do you need that off plan to enjoy the occasion the same?
Yeah.
And I can enjoy the cinema with just a large sugar-free
beverage. You could then save those calories and go and have a Five Guys for your mates and have a laugh.
Yeah, Five Guys.
You know? So, yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll leave it there then. We've obviously we've got some more questions, guys. I definitely do as well. Apologies if yours did not get answered. We'll just hold on to them for next week then, which is a bit mad. Next week's podcast will be the 1 week out podcast. Crazy. But yeah, no, we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, don't forget to drop a rating on Spotify, a like on YouTube. Keep the story shares coming. We do really appreciate that as well. I feel like we need to address that. Last week was a bit mad. So yeah, keep them coming. Thank you very much for the support as always, guys, and we will catch you on the next one. Cheers.